Alright, you seen Doctor Strange, you seen Miss Marvel, you seen WandaVision. How does this all connect? What is the MCU Phase 4? Kevin Feige said we should know pretty soon. So let's talk about that. And let's talk about where they're going with MCU Phase 4. After that, we got to talk about the PlayStation movies. That's right, PlayStation films, PlayStation productions. You saw Uncharted came out. You were like, wasn't that a video game? Yes, it was a video game. And there is more coming. There is a Gran Turismo, a Jack and Daxter. I'll let you know what's going on. Stay tuned. Welcome to Panel of Frames. Welcome back to the Panel of Frames podcast. I am your host, Fox Ferocious, and we had a bit of an interruption, but we're back on track. We post new episodes from now on every Wednesday and Friday. In the middle of that, we're going to try to do some audio commentaries. I did an audio commentary for Miss Marvel from the last week's episode, and we're going to do it again for this week's episode, and we're also going to do an audio commentary for The Boys this week, so stay tuned for that on the podcast page. But today, as you heard in the intro, we're going to be talking about pretty much movies all the way through. We usually do movies, TV shows, and then video games, but today we're going to put some little video gaminess into the moviness, okay? Before I get started, you can support the show by 5-starring and reviewing it, or, follow and share the podcast, subscribe to the podcast RSS feed, wherever you can. And we're working on a website still. It's going to be great. You guys are going to love it. I mean, it's going to be pretty simple. It's just going to be the podcast on there, but eventually we're going to have some bonus material for you there. So we appreciate your support. Our first topic is about MCU Phase 4. Where are they going with this? I still haven't seen Black Widow. That's a Phase 4 movie, but it should have been a Phase 2 movie, okay? That's a fact. But I know you saw Shang-Chi. It's likely that if you listen to this, you saw Shang-Chi. You saw the Eternals, all right? Maybe, because a lot of people were not going to see that movie. I went to see that movie. I enjoyed it. I don't remember most of the characters, but I enjoyed it. And then you saw, everyone saw, Spider-Man No Way Home. And we were like, oh, we're heading into multiversal things. Really, what's gonna happen? Is it Secret Wars? Maybe Secret Wars? And then you saw Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And you were like, yo, is that John Krasinski? He's playing Reed? Maybe? No? Incursions, Secret Wars, oh man. Well, Kevin Feige, about a week ago today, Kevin Feige came out and said, our plans for Phase 4 and 5 in the next saga should be very clear in the coming months, or after the coming films. I can't remember I'm paraphrasing here. So the next films coming up, as of this recording, tomorrow, Thor: Love and Thunder, and apparently there's a huge mid-credit scene, apparently. So that looks interesting, or sounds interesting, because I haven't seen it. I can't wait to go see it. In November, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. There are reports of, I say reports, it used to be reports, now it's full on confirmed just about, Namor the Submariner finally showing up. Namor, for those of you that don't know, is Marvel's Aquaman, who is more of a dick than Arthur Curry. He's the first mutant, I guess, confirmed. He's not really the first in canon because of Apocalypse from X-Men. So he says we're going to see these things make sense pretty soon. All right? I still think X-Men is going to be a combination of things. I think the appearance of mutants and all this other stuff and mutant discrimination, it's going to be a real mix. Because what I did not mention about Marvel Phase 4 and where they may or may not be going, the television series are also included in this. So WandaVision, which is, multiversal madness. By the way, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness released on Mother's Day. And Multiverse of Madness, what are the initials? MOM, in case you didn't notice. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is probably going to lead to the Thunderbolts. I guess they'll help out in Secret Wars. Who knows what's going to happen with that? Loki Season 1, obviously, timey-wimey, multiversal hijink stuff. What If is obvious. Hawkeye was just a personal story, but it's also setting up the next Hawkeye in Kate Bishop. So Young Avengers eventually Evangeline Lilly. Moon Knight, that has obvious world building god. This is how the gods work. This is how the deities work in the MCU. And a lot of this seems very disparate, but it's obvious that they're going in a cosmic, celestial direction. Does that mean we will be seeing
Galactus?
We gotta see him. We gotta see Galactus at this point. We've seen so many Celestials. Since the first one, Eson the Searcher that was in Guardians of the Galaxy, the flashback, we were like, Celestials, that looks like Galactus. And they were like, yeah, he's kind of he's funny that you should say that, maybe later on. Maybe not in the first Fantastic Four movie, but definitely down the line. So after Black Panther, universes are collapsing on top of one another. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. I have no idea what this movie is. I just know that Kang the Conqueror. We say that. Let me stop myself. Who knows if it's Kang the Conqueror? Who knows if it's the one Kang the Conqueror that we're thinking of in that movie? Maybe one of the Kangs, just one of them, is in that movie. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's a little more likely. But also, Quantumania implies time travel or timey-wimey. There's no telling what is in that movie. After that, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I have no concept. Did my voice just auto-tune by itself? I have no concept of this movie at all, or anything after Ant-Man and the Wasp. I have no concept for, because the only other two after that are the Marvels and Fantastic Four. And of course, I knew that Kevin Feige is such a nerd, a geek, that he could not resist putting Fantastic Four in Phase 4, even if it's the last Phase 4 movie. He's like, if it's the last thing I do, Fantastic Four is going to be in Phase 4. That's great. I know he did it on purpose. I know it. I know he was eyeing Phase 4 too. When they started numbering the phases, he was like, okay, by this time, we better be able to do Fantastic Four. So the TV series, we're going to keep going with those. Ms. Marvel, which is happening right now, it has a lot of cosmic energy. That's going to connect to the Marvels. But it has a lot of cosmic energy flowing through it. After that, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. So, also, that gives me Birdman vibes every time I read it, which is probably on purpose. So, She-Hulk, that's going to lend more to the Thunderbolts and probably more to the Daredevil, the reported, quote-unquote. This is a confirmed Daredevil series. Daredevil series probably not coming until Phase 5. I don't see it on this list, but it's probably not coming until Phase 5. This and the DODC, which is the Department of Damage Control, who monitors superheroes, or I guess superhumans or metas. I know that's DC, but anything that piques their interest, any human that is not completely human that they see there's acting completely human or with completely human identities and abilities, they're going to monitor you if you are showing some weird abilities. I think that's a precursor to the X-Men, because you can already see them mistreating superhumans, Damage Control, I mean. You can already see them mistreating them in Spider-Man No Way Home, when they basically, we're going to shoot you, Spider-Man. We don't care if you're saving that woman or if you killed her. We're going to shoot you if you don't surrender. Like, they were pretty brutal on Peter. The DODC is also brutal on Ms. Marvel. Right now, they're shooting first and asking questions later. And I think the Thunderbolts is going to add fuel to that fire. Eventually, it's going to lead to a discrimination against powered people, superpowered people. And I think that sets up X-Men. But I don't know how they do those storylines from here. But maybe it'll make sense when it pops up. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special it just seems like it's just a holiday special. But watch them put something in there that's like, what does this mean? This is canon. So what does this mean? Watch. I don't expect big things out of that, though. Secret Invasion with Samuel L. Jackson, but it's during the blip. So Samuel L. Jackson got blipped, right? Or is it when everybody comes back? I don't know. It sounds like it's when he gets blipped. So it sounds like it's going to be a lot of Skrull things happening. So I don't know. I wanted it to be a Nick Fury series, not imposter Nick Fury. But whatever. Ironheart, Armor Wars, and a Wakanda series. I don't know where this goes after that for the TV shows. Like, I don't know where this goes. We all assume they're leading to Secret Wars. Secret Wars? You can't do Secret Wars without Doctor Doom. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Sorry. In the MCU, yeah, you can. All you got to do is switch the roles around. In this case, it seems like Kang the Conqueror is going to be the central antagonist of Secret Wars. It seems like that. No, I gotta keep saying that. It seems like that because Phase 4 doesn't have to end with an Avengers movie. I think everybody's forgetting that too. Phase 4 does not have to end with an Avengers movie. They can have it go, okay guys, we set things up in Phase 4, here's Phase 5, and then Phase 5 ends with an Avengers movie. But other than that, I see them going in a Secret Wars cosmic direction. What do you guys think? Like, how do the gods dying? Because this affects a lot of stuff. Like, the thing about the MCU is that things affect things that you didn't think about. The fact that there's a Professor X in a universe somewhere, what was that, Earth 838? Universe 838? He was killed by Universe 616, and I hate that they did that because that's the comic book universe and not the film universe, but whatever. Film Universe 616, Wanda Maximoff killed 838 Professor Xavier. If he's Professor Xavier, and he probably is because they played that means that there is an entire group of X-Men now with a dead Professor X in a universe somewhere at a time where universes are collapsing on one another. Do I need to explain the gravity of this situation? There could be a Colossus, a Cyclops, a Wolverine. God help your enemies if there is a Phoenix Jean Grey. If she was going through the Phoenix saga as they killed that version of Professor X. God help her enemies, bro. Wanda will be nothing next to the Phoenix Force. So there's a lot of consequences for a lot of things. Like Loki, the series, that has a lot of consequences. Dude, they could go in any direction. I know you hear this a lot, but they can. They can go in any direction. My thing is, as long as they make it satisfying, everything will be good. For our second topic, we got to talk about these PlayStation film projects. PlayStation Productions, I believe, is the name of the film studio that is organizing these projects. And yes, they are products. They're film projects based on PlayStation properties. And they started with Uncharted, which I didn't go see it. I heard I didn't miss anything, but it made money. It made quite a bit of money. In fact, with a budget of $120 million, Uncharted made $401.7 million. And they had a post-credit scene, so they're definitely going to make a sequel to Uncharted. I don't know who's going to direct it. I don't know if people are going to go see it like they did, because number one, they got to pay Tom Holland more. And number two, y'all got to go somewhere actually interesting with this, because I think most people went to see that movie just out of curiosity, and it was pleasantly surprising. That's what it seems. But that's not what I would be looking for a Uncharted movie. But regardless of what I think, made plenty of money back, they'll do another one. They have these other things. Some of them have been announced officially, and some of them have just been talked about, like kind of like a slick announcement. But there are some that you know about and some that you don't. So let's start with something that was actually canceled. Something that was we assume it's canceled. There was work done on it, but nothing's gonna happen with it because of another movie. Sly Cooper. There was going to be an animated Sly Cooper movie developed by Rainmaker. Rainmaker are the people that did the reboot series back in the 90s that everybody loves. I didn't watch it. It's hard for me to watch it now, but the storylines are still really good. So maybe I'll just read scripts. They were in development with Rainmaker for a Sly Cooper animated movie, but Ratchet and Clank came out and it did nothing, because essentially Ratchet and Clank the movie, it was just the game's cutscenes. You could buy the game for $65 and have a game plus the story that was in the movie. I mean, it wasn't only the game's cutscenes. I guess what was in the middle of that was inconsequential because it didn't catch on. But Sly Cooper was gonna be the next thing, and it got cut. So that was one. There is a Gran Turismo movie. Yeah, Gran Turismo. And I was like, oh, they're gonna do like a racing movie where there's a racer. It's reportedly going to focus on a teenage Gran Turismo player who uses his skills in the real world. It's like racing plus Ready Player One, except it's not virtual. So that's strange to me. But it could be directed by Neil Blomkamp. He made District 9, directed District 9, Elysium, and Chappie. I've seen none of these. I was supposed to watch District 9 years ago and still haven't, but I want to. Heard it was great. Ghost of Tsushima is coming eventually. That doesn't have a date. Gran Turismo is coming out in 2023, by the way. Ghost of Tsushima does not have a date. Reportedly directed by Chad Stahelski. He directed all the John Wick films. So this Ghost of man, you know, that sounds good. They have a representative that's going to show up from Sucker Punch to help executive produce the film as well. By the way, Chad Stahelski, the director, he also worked on some Buffy episodes. He was the stunt double for Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, on The Crow after Brandon Lee was fatally shot. He was a stunt double for Brandon Lee. That's actually a crazy bit of trivia. The next one, Jack and Daxter, directed by Ruben Flesher. He directed Zombieland. He directed Uncharted. He directed Venom. But this time he's going to be collaborating with Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog seems pretty focused on The Last of Us. Speaking of The Last of Us, let's talk about these TV series that's happening. The Last of Us 2023. That's coming very soon. It's going to be coming on HBO Max. And it's going to have Pedro Pascal, who is the Mandalorian. He was also in Kingsman. I think the second Kingsman, right? Yeah, he was the cowboy in the second Kingsman. He is going to be Joel, and Bella Ramsey, who voices Hilda on Netflix, she's going to be Ellie. So that's going to be interesting. When they first announced the casting, I was like, man, this dude, I don't know. And then, I saw him in other things, and I was like, well, he can act. That's all I require. So that should be fine. And Bella looks perfect for Ellie. Twisted Metal series. A Twisted Metal series on Peacock. Now, this is one I know y'all have heard about. At least some of y'all have heard about. You heard it's going to be executive produced by Falcon himself, Anthony Mackie. He's been in Black Mirror as well. But Falcon, Captain America, Captain Falcon, whatever you want to call him. Anthony Mackie is supposed to be executive producing it. Twisted Metal. That's crazy. You're like, that's a crazy choice to be executive producing. But you got to think Anthony Mackie is a millennial. So he grew up with Twisted Metal. So it makes sense. And he's playing a character, I believe, in it. Here's the thing that they didn't tell you. All right? It's going to be produced by 11 other people. This series could be amazing, but more often than not, when you have more than 3 producers on something, it turns into just wild, which might be okay for Twisted Metal, but I don't know. It turns into some wild mess. It might be a clusterfuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of like having 15 writers, so then you have 84 plot lines in one story. It doesn't really work as well as we think it does. And in this series, Samoa Joe is physically playing Sweet Tooth, like the clown with the fire on his head, the one that you always see on Twisted Metal. Samoa Joe. He's gonna be Samoa Joe. I think it works. The best part about it is, because at first I was like, Samoa Joe is playing Sweet Tooth, man. I don't know. He's not voicing Sweet Tooth. Will Arnett. It makes me laugh. BoJack himself, Lego Batman, Will Arnett is voicing Sweet Tooth. One of the Lego Batman is voicing Sweet Tooth. So look, let me read off this list of executive producers for you though first. Executive produced by Will Arnett, Mark Foreman, Herman Hulst, Anthony Mackie, Peter Principato, Assad Kizilbash, I hope that I said that right, Rhett Reese, Kitao Sakurai, Michael Jonathan Smith, Jason Spire, Carter Swan, and Paul Wernick are producing this, so I cannot wait to see it. it's probably gonna be crazy, man. Twisted Metal's crazy, so we'll see. But the God of War series, which I thought was going to be a movie. Did y'all not hear of a God of War movie that was being written? But I guess they turned it into a series. So hey, it might still work. We have no info on it except that it's going to be on Amazon Prime Video, which sounds like a perfect place for it. They can get really violent. And Horizon at Netflix. They probably should have had a tagline in addition to Horizon, because it's about Horizon Zero Dawn. Y'all know that video game, but it's just called Horizon, and it makes me think of Facebook Meta, because they have a VR Meta thing called Horizon, and that could be potentially confusing because they both look like video games. So maybe add a tagline onto that. It probably won't be Horizon by the end of it because we don't have any info, which means it's still being developed. So when they have a script and a story, they might find out a relevant subtitle for the movie. So yeah, that's all of the PlayStation produced by PlayStation projects that we got so far coming out. I'm surprised they didn't put the Metal Gear Solid movie on here, but I guess it's technically not PlayStation because Snake has been on Smash Bros and some Moes. What video game deserves a movie from PlayStation? A PlayStation exclusive now. That's the thing. I'm trying to think. Tack in the Power that had a TV show. It has precedent. I'm trying to think of a PlayStation exclusive. A Spyro movie. A Spyro movie could work, right? They already had Tomb Raider. They don't need to do that again. They really don't. A Spyro movie. And I know they're kind of burnt out on the animated films. They're making Jak and Daxter. Maybe if Jak and Daxter does well, they'll do Spyro or Spyro or Sly Cooper. Is Spyro exclusive anymore? Either way, I think they can do it. I think they got the right to do it. They don't need to do another Tekken movie. They don't have a ton of exclusives, but I think a Spyro movie would work. And that is another show in the books. Thank you for listening to, what is this, episode 2? Episode 2 of the Panel of Frames News Podcast. Here's what you got to do. You've gotten this far. You've already downloaded the show pretty much to your Android and iOS device. Give me 5 stars. Give them to me. This isn't Mario Party. You don't need them. But you can review us on Apple Podcasts, or I think there are other podcasts that do reviews that have stars. Give us a positive review. Let them know what you like about the show. You can follow and share the podcast with your friends, your other nerds, your other geeks. Let them know who I bees. And the next episode will be out on Friday, probably earlier than 5 o'clock. So I can get you guys getting off of work. That's right. You have something to listen to on the way home. But that is it. This has been your host, Fox Ferocious. Make sure you live strong, game on, and stay crimson.